Abba-dabby dude! Hi there, this is Abba-dabby dude! Welcome back, and we're going to continue the little mini-series that I've started on public charging. If you watched the last video, you'll remember I went to the Chargeplace Scotland charger in Kilmarnock, and I had a highly successful charge there. Now, if you remember the history to that, I originally went there not long after I got the car and couldn't get it to start charging. So when I was doing a video on charging, one of the first places I wanted to go was there. I'd reported it faulty at the time, but I'd never been back since, so I wasn't sure if it was working or not. So anyway, I went back, charge worked first time, and then another 2 times after that, so I did 3 totally successful charges, no issues. So I thought, they've obviously fixed it, problem solved. Anyway, on the IPace forums, I was chatting with a guy who goes by the username of Chunky, and he mentioned that he was having terrible problems charging his Jaguar at public chargers, and one of the ones he listed was the Kilmarnock one. So I messaged him and said, just for you to know, I used it January, didn't work, reported it faulty, used it again recently and it did work. And it turned out that he'd tried it just after I had the first time. So it was possible, we felt, that he'd used it when it was faulty. So he went, tried it again on that, following that discussion, and it didn't work for him. So he was taking it up with Jaguar at this point, who were saying nothing wrong with the car's not faulty. So it was obviously causing him a lot of confusion and a lot of headaches. Anyway, I agreed to meet him again meet him for the first time, but I agreed to go again to the Kilmarnock one and meet him there. The idea being, we knew it worked with my car, so we would charge my car, film it, show it working, and then charge his car, film it, show it not working, and then he could then take those videos to his Jaguar dealer to prove that there was something wrong with his car. We got there, we plugged his car in, it wouldn't charge. We plugged my car in, and it wouldn't charge either. We then spent an extremely frustrating 1 hour period there, trying both cars, different setups, different ways of using the card. Plug it in first, then start the charge, then plug it in. You name it, we tried every combination we could think of. Nothing worked, and of course we were switching cars the whole time as well. Nothing worked. So it was a hugely frustrating experience. Now, one thing that I observed at the time was, all the times I used it successfully with my car, it was a nice, dry, warm day, and it hadn't rained for a little while. The 2 times I've had problems were on rainy days. So we wondered if maybe there's some kind of earth leakage problem that's made worse by wet ground. Pure guesswork. I'm not an EV scientist by any means, but that was what we thought might be happening. But then we happened to stumble across a thing which worked, and it worked for both of us. Now, we didn't do either of them deliberately. On either car, on both cars rather, we just came across it by accident. We weren't deliberately trying this, but it worked for both cars. So today I'm on the way back to Kilmarnock. It's been raining. It's not actually raining at the moment, but it has been raining for a couple of days now. The ground is fairly wet, so hopefully, if that's what causes the problem, it will still exist. I'm going to get there, I'm going to recreate the process that we went through, and see if it works again. So in a bizarre, twisted way, I'm actually hoping that it doesn't just charge first time today, which would just be typical if it did actually just work. But anyway, that's the plan for today. We're going to go there, plug the car in, hopefully it won't work, and then we're going to repeat the process, this time deliberately. If it works, then possibly we've found a solution. Just to clarify, these are the old style eVolt chargers that Chargeplace Scotland uses at quite a lot of locations. You can tell those ones because they've got a screen and a physical button to start and stop the charge next to the screen. The more modern ones have only got a touch screen. There's no physical buttons. There's probably an emergency stop button, but that's it. So if you're having problems with an eVolt charger with that kind of setup, the older style ones, because Chargeplace Scotland aren't the only people that use eVolt chargers. I think Ecotricity use them as well, though I'm not 100% sure on that. But if you're having problems with one of those chargers, stick around and let's see if we've got a solution that might actually work. Okay, so I'll leave it at that for now, and I'll come back to you as we're getting to the charger. Okay, we're just about to arrive at the charger. Somebody plugged in by the looks, not sure if they're AC or DC. Let's hope they're AC. And once we get plugged in, or once we get parked up rather, we'll connect everything up and hopefully be able to get this working. They always seem to be here, this pet service, they're always parked here. I actually read a report on the internet once about them unplugging somebody's car to plug their van in. So they're not people we like. Yeah, maybe I should do the same. Anyway, right, we're here, but gonna have a little bit of a wait because he is plugging in DC, of course he is. So yeah, sorry, he's just driven off, in fact, just as I pulled up at the charger. So it is free for us to use. So I'll take you with me. I've got my trusty Chargeplace Scotland card. Hang on, just let me get you unplugged from the car. Oops. And disentangled from the mount, camera mount. And oops, switch the car off, that helps. Okay, and let's get outside and see what happens with this then. Okay, so we'll start off with my usual methodology. Okay, so we'll get the car, we'll plug it in. Right, okay, sorry, it was just still showing us working from his charge. Right, so we'll plug it in. Right, there it goes. We will swipe the card. Wait for the beep, there it goes. Okay, now it will say, at least we can read the screen today. Validating user. Just waiting for that. Okay, and instructions DC, start. Wait for the fans to start. There they go, you can hear them. That's the all important top right green light. We need that to go blue. Fans are running. Car's flashing white, you can't see that, but it's flashing white. No sign of the green though. What does the screen say? Connect plug to the vehicle. It is connected. And come on. Let's see. Okay, it's not working at the moment, which is perversely good news. Come on. Right, I'm just going to lock the car. No, it won't let me lock it. The key is still in the car. Okay, come with me. And let's pick up the key. Which will then allow me to lock the car. Oops, sorry. If you look over there, they are building a whole load of new chargers there. From what we could see the other day, looks like they are okay. That has not worked, so that is good news, believe it or not. But yeah, so sorry, as I was saying there, yeah, as I say, it hasn't worked, so that is what we wanted to happen, perversely. As you can see, when it doesn't work, you just don't get the blue charging light, it just stays green. But yeah, over there, if I just flick behind me there, over here, they're installing 5 new chargers here. It looks like they're installing one of these smaller AC chargers that this Leaf is hooked up to, but they're installing 4 rapid chargers by the looks of it. I'm only going by the size of the plinth here, but it looks like they're the rapid chargers. If that's the case, I assume they're going to be the new style ones, which won't give problems with the IPace. But that's a good expansion, because this is a busy little charging station. Okay, so yeah, it's quite a nice little site they're getting set up. As I say, if there's 4 rapids here and another one of these, and I think they are fast AC chargers, I think they're the 43 kilowatt AC chargers. No use for an IPace, it can only charge at 7 kilowatts on AC, but for other cars, quite helpful. So anyway, yeah, right, that was the process. The process that we did, I didn't really explain that, I've just realised in the car. The process that we did was plug the car in, try and start a charge. When it didn't work, we just got chatting, and we chatted for a good few minutes. And then as we were chatting, just randomly, I just thought, oh, I'll try and start the charge. And it worked. And then the same, that was on Chunky's car. And then the same thing happened on my car. So, what seemed to work was plugging the car in, trying to start the charge, and when it didn't work, just leave it, plug it in, leave it plugged in, don't touch anything, don't do anything, just leave it like that for a few minutes, and then set it going again. So that's probably 3 minutes at least, maybe 4 minutes it's been plugged in, which I think was enough the last time. We're not sure what it is. We're not sure whether it was that something in the system equalized, you know, the levels of something or other. Like I said, I'm not an EV scientist. Whether that was leveled out enough for the car to then accept the handshake process, or something that occurred to me afterwards is, am I waiting long enough for the car to go to sleep and then start the charging process? I really don't know. But anyway, let's give it another go. Let's try that again. Right, there's the beep. Press the start button. Still validating user, it says. Okay, the phones are running. But the charger has stayed green. The light is not flashing. Okay, this great. Ah, and there we go. Okay, now you can see there that's gone blue. Can't read the screen again, hang on. Let me. Oh, here we go. The screen's just going to the start page now. Energy charge, sorry, I'm holding my hand up in the hope that you'll be able to read that. It's terrible screens on these. Energy charged 0.11. State of charge 75%, that'll be right. Like I say, I don't need the charge, this is to test out the charger if somebody comes, I'll stop in the meantime, but for now, that does appear to be working. Okay, let's head into the car and see what it says on the dashboard. Okay, that is charging. So for some weird reason, that seems to work. That does seem to work with these old eVolt chargers. Well, certainly that's 3 times we've used that method between myself and Chunky. So 2 different IPaces and 3 charging sessions that we've started with that method. And it's charging. I'm going to leave it a couple of minutes because there have been in the past, not specifically with these chargers, but there have been various reports in the past of EVs generally that will start charging sessions and then stop them again after a couple of minutes. But in all honesty, that looks really good. We've got 1% into the battery already since we started that, and that looks good. Have we found a solution to this? That would be pretty amazing if we have. Yeah, you can see there, that blue light is still on, it's rock solid. If I can get the screen legible for you, which is asking quite a lot on a day like this. With a screen like this, yeah, that's nothing to do with. But yeah, it's saying that we've added 1.48 kilowatt hours, and that's been in what, a minute? I don't know. No, it's more than a minute. But it's not very long, it's only a couple of minutes, you know. It's definitely charging at a good rate of charge. It's rock solid. What I'm going to do is I'll leave it until it gets to 80%, and we'll see if it's still charging solidly at 80%. If it is, then I think we can take that as meaning the charging session is working. So yeah, this, for some random reason, and we only found it by coincidence, we didn't find it because we wanted to try that method. We found it because we gave up on charging. We spent an hour trying to get these cars to charge on this exact charger, not just a charger like this exact one, and it wouldn't even start. An hour we spent, 2 cars, 1 hour. Must have tried to start charging sessions 30-40 times. Nothing worked. And then right at the end, just because we were chatting, when it failed, we got talking, we thought, just as we were chatting, just idly, or randomly, I just went over and swiped my card again and pressed the start button. And at that exact moment, I remember saying, this is the definition of insanity, isn't it? Trying the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And as I said that, the blue light came on. So yeah, solid so far. Now, while I'm waiting for that to get to 80%, I'm just going to take you over. I'm going to show you this new charger station that they're building here. No idea when it's going to open, but it looks like quite an impressive facility for a non-motorway service station, a council. Effectively, it's a Scottish government site, really, although it's run by BP, BP Chargemaster. It's so complicated. It's run by Charge Your Car on behalf of the Scottish government, I believe, but BP Chargemaster bought out Charge Your Car, so now Chargeplace Scotland is actually owned and run by BP, but it's still completely separate. So BP are a really confusing entity these days because they've got BP Polar, I'm not sure if Chargemaster and Polar are separate, are they? But anyway, even allowing for that, they've got Polar, they've got Charge Your Car, and they've got Chargeplace Scotland. They all run as separate individual entities with separate identities, but they're all BP. So anyway, I'm not sure, I presume the Scottish Government puts out the funding for these sites to be installed, but I honestly don't know. I think it must be, because BP makes no money out of it, other than what the Scottish Government pays them. The charging, certainly in Kilmarnock at the moment, is free. There's a couple of councils where you do pay for it, but in Kilmarnock it's free. But yeah, so here's the site. You can see there's where the charging plinth is going. Now, going by the base of that and the size of the gap between the poles, that's about the same dimensions. Actually, it's a little bigger than the one I've plugged into just now. There's a second one there, so you've got 1, 2, just behind that pile of bricks. Oh, sorry, if you can see it. There's number 3, and then if we go around to the side here, you can see there's 2 more around here. Sorry, there's, I'll zoom in a bit. There's that one there, and then that one, sorry, that one right over the back there is what looks like the AC one, because it's got a much narrower plinth on it. I don't want to go through there. They've left us open, but I'm pretty sure I'm not surprised. Ah, there's nobody around. Let's just quickly sneak in and have a quick look, so you can hopefully see what I mean. There's the one that I assume is another rapid charger, and there's the one. You can see the difference in the size of the base there, but that's the one that I assume is going to be another AC stall there. So that's pretty impressive. That's 5 new chargers. Oops, sorry, 5 new chargers in one site, which is quite an impressive setup. That's, you know, I'm just looking around to see if there's any more going in. Don't seem to be. But yeah, so once it's finished, and I know these things quite often take a long time to get hooked up, you know, they come and do the groundwork very quickly, and then they take forever, because it's out of their hands. It's not, Swarco is the company that actually installs these for Chargeplace Scotland. So I'm just looking, yeah, Swarco is actually a brand of, oh sorry, they own the eVolt brand, so they make the chargers and install them, but they're relying on, and I'm not sure if it's National Grid or a local utility company like Scottish Power or somebody like that. Not sure exactly who they rely on, although I think they use Octopus Energy now. I think I read somewhere they're using Octopus Energy. Might be wrong on that. But they rely on them to come and do the connections to the grid. So sometimes all the groundwork can get done really quickly, and then it waits for ages for the electrical connection. So no idea what the start date will be, but that looks quite an impressive little charging site once it's done. And this place needs it, because this is a busy little site. This quite often you come here. Well, the day I was here with Chunky, we had to wait for 2 cars to charge, plus there was, actually there were 2 cars on the AC charger, 2 cars on this one rapid charger waiting, and our 2 cars waiting. And then while we were messing around, another car came and showed up to wait as well. So this is a busy site and does need more. Definitely needs more. But it's great to see them doing it. And what's great is, hopefully, I assume that will be the new style chargers, which will not mean having to go through this kind of nonsense. Anyway, back at the charger, let's have a look. And there you go, still running. We have installed. We have added 5.5 kilowatts now, and gone from 75 to 81% in however long that's been. Not long, basically, but yeah, you can see that's rock solid. The car is charging fine. I think we might have found the solution to this. I really, really do. Fingers crossed. Yeah, impressive. So there you go. Yep, that seems to have worked, so I'm going to stop the charge at that point. There's no point in continuing now. We've been here for quite a while. It's charging. We're now at 82%, so we've added 7%, which means we must have been plugged in a good, can't do the maths now, 7%, so that would be a seventh of an hour if it was a 50 kilowatt charge ish. So, you know, that would be about 8 to 9 minutes we've been plugged in, and it's still charging, so that's rock solid. I think we can say that. So I'm just going to stop the charge, swipe my card, press the stop button. Fans have cut off instantly. That usually takes a bit longer. Blue light's still on. These things do take a while to shut down, and a lot of people give up and hit the emergency stop button, but a bit of patience and it will stop properly. In fact, it's happened quite quickly there. It's gone to green already. So we can unlock the car, remove the charger, reinsert it into the machine. I wish more people would do that properly. It's amazing how often you come and they're not inserted properly, or they're just lying on the ground next to the charger. Come on, people, clean up after yourselves and make it nice for the next person. But yeah, there we go. As you see, the light goes green again once it's finished. The car is charged. As I said the last time, learn from my past mistakes. Don't forget to put that cover back on and close your charging cover. But okay, there you go. One successful charging session, which does seem to be the solution. Okay, back in the car, and a few thoughts on that, and a little summary of what just went on. Yeah, the soil is damp. I just checked the soil before I got in the car. The soil is damp, so it could be connected to the whole wet ground thing that I mentioned before, but it definitely didn't work today again. Unlike those previous 3 charges that I managed to start first time flawlessly, where all I did was what you're supposed to do basically. Drive up, swipe my card, plug the car in, press start, and 10 seconds later I was charging. That happened 3 times on warm sunny days. Now 3 times in wet conditions. Although it's not raining at the moment, the ground is damp because it's been raining yesterday and the day before, and well, it's Scotland basically. So, and that's partly why I came back today, because the ground would be wet. I've spent more time in Kilmarnock recently than I did when I lived here, to be honest. But yeah, as I say, when I plugged in this time and just did the normal procedure, what you're supposed to do to start a charge, it didn't work. The green light stayed on. It didn't even flick to blue for a second and back to green. The green light just stayed on. It just didn't do anything. It would not even start to commence the handshake process, really. But then when I added the new process into the equation, whereby as soon as it didn't work, I didn't bother trying multiple times. I just tried it that once. Didn't work. I just left it. I didn't do anything. I didn't unplug the car. I didn't keep swiping it and trying it and locking and unlocking the car, etc., etc. All I did was just wander around. I mean, you could just go and sit in the car for 5 minutes, but didn't do anything. Just waited a few minutes. It must have been about 4 minutes, I reckon, that I spent waiting there. And then, sure enough, after that, I swiped my card. I thought for a second it wasn't going to work because it was a little bit slow in connecting. But, swiped my card, pressed the start button. You know, I had to wait a minute for it to do its little validating user thing. But swiped my card, validate user, press start button, and the car charged. And it was rock solid after that. So basically, that seems to be the secret. I mean, we don't have a huge record of testing it, but I'd appreciate it if you maybe if you've got any of these style of chargers near you, maybe you could give it a go someday, preferably on a rainy day, but also try it on sunny days, see if it charges normally, and if it doesn't, try this process and get back to me. Leave me something down in the comments below, just to say whether you've had any success with this technique. If it does work for you, I mean, certainly that Chargeplace Scotland charger seems to work with it, and I'm hoping, now that's the only one I've tried it on, so, but I'm hoping it will therefore work with any of them. But also, like I say, those eVolt chargers aren't exclusive to Chargeplace Scotland. A lot of other companies use them as well. So if you are anywhere where there's one of those, you're having a problem getting your IPace to start charging, try this method and leave me a comment down below. Let me know if it worked for you. Yeah, that's it. Nothing more to say, really. It's given me a bit of peace of mind. We've got a bit of a road trip coming up at the weekend. And it's going to involve a charging stop, probably at that kind of charger. So that's partly why I wanted to try it out today, to make sure that this did seem to actually solve the problem. And so far, we're 3 for 3 with this method, which I can't say for any other method of starting a charge. So yeah, I'll be doing a video on that road trip, so we'll get back to you on that trip and let you know how that one goes. But hopefully solve the issue. If not, it will be a video about how good Jaguar are at coming to pick you up when you run out of electricity. Either way, it will be an interesting video. So, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful, particularly this one, and I hope you found it reasonably entertaining. If you have enjoyed it, have found it useful, have found it beneficial, then please leave a comment down below, and don't forget to also click the thumbs up. Those likes are hugely important for the channel and very beneficial in getting the videos seen and recommended by YouTube. So if you have enjoyed it, have found it useful, click the thumbs up. If you're enjoying the channel, enjoying what you see, enjoying learning more about the IPace and the odd general chit chat about EVs in general, a lot of generals in there, then feel free to subscribe to the channel, the link over there. If you do subscribe, if you then click on the little bell next to it, you'll also be notified every time I upload a new video, so you won't miss anything. And yeah, feel free to leave comments down below. As I say, if you try this method and it works or doesn't work, please let me know. Leave a comment down below. Any other observations you just want to make, feel free to open the discussion down there. Anything you leave there, I will try and reply to, unless it's hideously abusive or obviously spam. Yeah, any genuine comments, I do try and reply to them. I'm sometimes a bit slow because YouTube's a little flaky in telling me when somebody's posted a message, but I do try and get back to all of them. So yeah, that's it for today. Interesting one I've found. Anyway, I personally have found it interesting just to make the video on this occasion, and hopefully I will find it useful and beneficial myself. And I hope you have the same experience. So, till next time, this is Abu Dhabi Dude saying so long, take care, see you soon. Bye. Abu Dhabi Dude.